We're receiving word across the news. Meteorologists are reporting that a polar vortex is just the beginning, starting for January of 2024. January's weather forecast in chaos and dangerous. Polar vortex, cold looms as the U.S. will be hammered by dangerous winter weather. And this, they're saying, is going to be hitting the vast majority of the United States, hitting deep into the nation. Polar vortex coming in days. So please make preparations now. Now, what exactly is a polar vortex and why is this so dangerous? Polar vortex is a low pressure area of cold air that surrounds the North Pole. It's a counterclockwise spinning mass of air that grows and shrinks with the seasons. Now, the polar vortex is not dangerous in and of itself. However, when it begins to falter, which is what they're saying is going to be happening in the next couple days, it can cause a wintry effect on weather patterns across the United States, including heavy snow and cold temperatures. The polar vortex can also cause cold air to spill out of the Arctic towards lower latitudes, which can last for long stretches. So they're saying make preparations now, as in the coming days, they're anticipating this will hit 90% of the United States. The main dangers associated with the polar vortex are hypothermia and frostbite. Hypothermia can occur when the body shuts down after reaching an abnormally low temperature. Frostbite is an injury to the body caused by freezing, most common on extremities such as the fingers and the toes, but can affect.
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, news in his gospel, broadly from the standard of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the spirit, just an update on this weather we've been having across the country. As I know, in parts of Florida, I believe in the southern parts of the states like Texas, Florida, Alabama, parts of Georgia have been hit. Well, really the whole country has been hit with this inclement weather. Okay, this crazy ass weather, from tornadoes to tsunamis to blizzards to rain to snow to extreme coldness, which this thing, polar vortex, like the guy Steve Ram was going into, breaking down the whole concept of how I know he was making mention of the Middle East, not the Middle East, but the Midwest states like cities like Chicago, Detroit, and Kansas City is possibly to get hit with a foot or two of snow. Now, I didn't see that in the forecast, so I'm not knowing if he's alluding to what we just went through, because I do know that we did get hit with about, I think the metro got hit with like 5 to 7 inches. So we was about 6-7 inches out here. Parts of northern Missouri got hit with like up to 9 inches, you know. But I think he's talking about another system, which we have another small system coming in tonight, which we may get like anywhere from a dusting to 2 inches. But I didn't see anything about any particular like blizzard type conditions outside of this week. Now, it could be because, you know, like we know that this weather is being manipulated through Esau's program, his technology, which is all Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai at the end of the day. But overall, man, we are getting hit with some frigid temperatures. As we know, last year, you know, we had pretty much a mild winter for the most part, but we did go through a particular period of a few days of below frigid temperatures. And I know also the year before last, Texas, parts of the particular provinces in Texas, and you gotta excuse me, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I'm actually driving too. But in Texas, I know that they had like particular grid outages in certain particular neighborhoods. And there was a big cry about that because they were speaking on how the downtown area had light and power, but when you go into these particular rural neighborhoods or these hoods where Jake live at, and even Esau, people was getting power outages because they was talking about preserving the power grid. Now, also what I'm finding out too is with these utility companies, that the colder it is, the more they're gonna charge you for how much usage per kilowatt you use. Meaning that you have 30 below, and let's just say if you set your thermostat to 75 degrees to keep your house somewhat warm or mild temperature so you don't freeze to death, basically they're gonna charge you extra money for utilizing your fucking energy, man. You know, and that's wicked as all hell. Okay, because for one thing, we know that energy is free according to the earth, and to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. We have free resources. But see what Esau did, he's putting patents on these things, and he's basically selling them at a profit. Like, ain't nowhere in hell you supposed to be paying a light bill or a gas bill or anything of that magnitude when you literally have energy that comes from the earth. Okay? But see what he does, he takes it and he sells it to you for a particular profit by putting you on a grid, and then, you know, you get a reoccurring bill every month, man. Like right now, people's bills are gonna be high as all hell because, I mean, literally, I say by tomorrow, we're gonna be like, believe it or not, we're gonna be like in the frigid temperatures, like 8 degrees. And they say wind chills out here in Missouri is gonna be up to negative 25, negative 30 degrees, man. You know what I'm saying? Which is gonna be brick cold. So, hey, honestly speaking, I don't think we're gonna be out speaking this weekend, but we're gonna go out and speak hopefully sometime this evening, which hopefully it won't be too late, because we don't want to make a habit of going out late, especially in the summertime when things get crazy. But overall, we want to go out and do the work, so we may go out and speak for about an hour and a half tonight, you know, to get the work in, because I don't think that we're gonna be out here Saturday. It's gonna be too fucking cold, and on top of that, we got another system coming in, you know. So with that being said, man, these are the plagues of the Heavenly Father. Because if you understand how the Most High plagued Egypt in the time of the Egyptians, when they refused to let us go, hey, the Lord brought all types of plagues, from frost to particular flies to particular diseases. He smote the firstborn of every male in Egypt, including he killed off the cattle, okay, the grasshoppers, the caterpillar. He pretty much put an abrupt end to their economy because of the children of Israel, man. And this is the same thing that the Most High is doing now. But instead, Esau is using technology to harbor out the judgments of the Heavenly Father. Because I don't know if you look in the sky right now, it's literally like a film over the sky. It's like they literally blocking out the sun. Okay, because on what it appears to be somewhat of a sunny day, you have like this chemical blanket covering out the sun, and it's not even real clouds. Okay, this is their manufactured weaponry. You know, and I've noticed about 3 weeks ago, prior to the beginning of the new year, we literally had 50-degree temperatures out here, man. You know, but they were spraying in an exceptional amount of chemtrails in the air. You know, and back of my mind, I'm like, particular cases are going to go up. People are going to start getting sick. Like, find out in southern Florida, people are experiencing the you-know-what type symptoms all over again. Because that shit they're spraying in the air. You know, in the hot temperatures, that shit sits in the atmosphere. And when it rains or snows, then it brings it on down. Okay, so everything you seeing happening in the atmosphere is due to Esau's weaponry. And it's really the judgment of the Heavenly Father, man. But ain't none of this shit, for the most part, that we've been experiencing is natural. Okay, because ain't nowhere in hell that we almost through the winter time. I mean, we like really in the middle of winter. But winter started, I think winter starts, what, November 21st or December? I think November 21st, I believe, is the beginning of winter. But November was pretty mild. December was pretty mild with no snow. Then January and February is just like literally brutally cold, unnaturally, man. You know, and here we go. Okay, so it says, what is a polar vortex? It says the polar vortex is an area of the atmosphere that essentially spins around the North Pole, which I kind of find that hard to believe that's something natural occurring. Okay, the Lord have weather patterns here, and He creates storms and He takes them away. But like I said, with this technology that this man is using, it's kind of hard to say at this point, because I'm literally looking in the sky and I see a sun up there, but it's just chemicals and smog and fog all over the place. And it's not natural. These are literally chemicals, man. You know, all those planes that you see flying in the sky spraying chemtrails, this is what we're breathing in. And you wonder why the weather's all fucked up, you know? But it says it is happening in the upper troposphere or the stratosphere, but ordinarily it is large enough to cover the Arctic Ocean and not just a polar jet stream. Okay, it says polar vortex, how freezing Arctic air drops to the south. And you know what's so funny, man? Like Missouri, right? Like, we have some of the worst weather in the fucking country. I mean, we don't have a spring. We barely have a fall. You may have like a couple of weeks of spring and maybe a month of fall if you lucky, but you got winter and you got summer. Okay, it's crazy that this is the Midwest and yet you got the worst weather. When particular, all the crops are pretty much grown here, like your corn, your wheat, your barley. You know, they considered it the breadbasket of the world, but it's so volatile due to the weather. Okay, now I looked up the forecast for Colorado, Nebraska. I even looked up particular cities in Missouri. And you know who's the coldest out of all of these fucking states? Kansas City. Surprisingly, right? There's no big body of water out here. Okay, you have a lot of land, a lot of trees, a lot of density, but there's no oceans, no lakes. Like the closest lake we have, which is pretty much the Lake of Ozarks, but that's a closed system. The next big great lake to us is Lake Michigan, which is in Chicago. But how the fuck is Chicago gonna be a lot warmer than us? It says we're gonna be up to -25, -30, but Colorado is gonna be in the upper 20s. Wait a minute, Colorado is in the plains up there, off the Rockies, and you know they're right up there. How the hell is fucking Colorado warmer than Missouri? And then when I looked up Jeff City, I looked up Columbia, Missouri, I looked up St. Louis. All three of those particular provinces are warmer than Kansas City. How in the fuck is that even possible? Literally, Jeff City is maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours away from Kansas City. St. Louis is 3 hours away. And Columbia is like an hour and a half away. It's like one straight shot. You go down the East Interstate 70 highway, you will hit all three concurrently. How in the hell are we in a whole different temperature bracket than these particular cities, which is literally down the street? That show you that there's some nefarious shit going on, man. All right. But anyway, I got a couple of precepts. All right, because like I said, Esau, Edom, you know, and it's really the judgment of the Heavenly Father, because this is the Lord bringing down the inhabitants of Babylon the Great, which is a beautiful thing. But nonetheless, we got to suffer through this shit. All right. But this is the book of Joel 37, and I'm going to start at verses. Let's start at verses 3. It says, he directed under the whole heaven and his lightning into the ends of the earth. Matter of fact, let's start at 2. It says, hear attentively to the noise of his voice and the sound that goeth out of his mouth. It says he directed it under the whole heaven and his lightning into the ends of the earth. It says, and after the voice roared, it reads, it says he thundered with the voice of his excellency, and he would not stay them when his voice is heard. Because we know that the Most High has control of everything at the end of the day. Esau believes he's doing something with his harp and whatever fucking programs he's using, but really the Most High put it in his spirit to use this thing. You know, and it would be a terrible thing if Esau Edom decides to cut the power grid and hit the country with the EMP. It's going to be pretty bad, because think about it. A polar vortex lasts a couple of days. Okay, now they said we're going to be under extreme cold advisory for the next 5 days, from tomorrow all the way up until next Tuesday. But next week is going to still be pretty cold, and then the week after next, depending on what this guy Steve Ram is talking about, they may get hit with another one. So polar vortexes last for quite some time, because I don't know if you brothers remember going back to 2021 when we had that little blanket of cold air. That shit lasted for damn near like a week and a half, 2 weeks, man. Power was going out. People was fucking dying. People was dying from carbon monoxide poisoning for literally trying to get heat in their cars, you know, and they couldn't open up the garage doors because basically the power was off, so they couldn't get out. But the people was literally freezing to death, man. You know, so if he decides to shut down the grid and do some wickedness, then hey, a lot of people are gonna die from that. And this is why Yahweh Shai say, pray that your flight be not in winter, because this is the wrong time or the worst time to be on a run from judgment when you are under extreme frigid temperatures. Same thing last year. We had one of the hottest fucking summers on record. Okay, they said the 4th of July was probably like the hottest day in Missouri in over 100 years. And I mean, it was brutal out there, bros. The thing is, it just wasn't that humid, but it was hot as hell. But find out, Kansas City was one of the hottest fucking cities in the country. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how is that even possible, man? Kansas City got hotter than Texas. And according to Esau's science, they say the closer the cities or the states are to the equator, which they call it the belt of fire, they said the hotter your state will be. But yet, Kansas City was literally the hottest city in the nation. And I'm not bullshitting, you know? St. Louis was hot, Jeff City was hot, but Kansas City, for whatever reason, Esau has something against this place, man. It ain't really Esau, it's the Most High. Because when I'm finding out here in this wicked ass city, these people are demons, man. They're proud, you know, they're not attentive to anything. They're slow bellies, they the last to know anything, and they don't pay attention to shit, you know, and they despise the men of the Heavenly Father here, man. Okay, they hate the prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Damn, I can't go that way. You know, they hate the men of the Lord here. So therefore, the Most High has them under extreme plagues right now, because we've been out here warning the people that things like this was going to happen. We said that the summers are going to get worse, the winters are going to get worse, in most cases, you have an overly warm winter. Like, for real, winter ain't been that bad. Minus a few this last storm, which this last storm was really lightweight. Okay, we've seen worse, but it's just how frequently they're occurring with these particular polar vortexes, which is unnatural cold. Okay, it's one thing to be cold, but when it's unnaturally cold due to chemical imbalances in the atmosphere, due to particular technology, the shit is not natural. Okay, and it says, "In the power, thundering marvelously with his voice, and great things doth he, which we cannot comprehend." So all this is really above our pay grade. Okay, we just speculate and we break down the scriptures as to what it says and to what we're revealed to in the spirit. And it says here, "For he said to the snow, beat out on the earth, likewise to the small rain, and to the great rain of his strength." Okay, because like I said, at the end of the day, the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is in control of all these things. Okay, and it reads here, it says, "He sealed up the hand of every man, all men that may know his work. Then the beasts go into the dens and remain in their places, but out of the south coming the whirlwind and cold out of the north." Okay, going back into this whole so-called polar vortex. As we just read here, it says, the polar vortex is an area of the atmosphere that essentially spins around the North Pole. Okay, it says it's happening in the upper troposphere and the stratosphere. Ordinarily, it is large enough to cover the Arctic Ocean. When you think of Arctic, you think of cold. It said it is not the polar jet stream that is a much larger phenomenon. But we just read here in the scriptures that cold coming out of the north, man. Okay, because nearly in North America, it's pretty much cold out here. You know, they say that the northern states oftentimes have the most frigid temperatures. And they're absolutely right about that. And of course, this fucking truck will be here right when I need to park. So give me a second, brothers. Let me pull this thing up real quick. I'm trying to do a lesson in drive, and these roads ain't necessarily the best. So, Lockie, bear with me real quick. These roads ain't really done pretty good. But anyway, it says here, out of the south coming the whirlwind, and out of the cold out of the north. And where we at right now? We're in the north. Okay, North America. And it says, by the breath of Yahweh, frost is given, and the breath of the waters is straightened. Oh, shit. What the hell? Hold up. And it says, out of the south coming the whirlwind, and cold out of the north. By the bread of the Most High, frost is given, and the breath of the waters is straightened. It says, also by watering he wearied the thick cloud, and he scattereth his bright cloud, and it is turned around by his counsels. And what are the counsels? The angels. It says that they may do whatsoever he commanded them upon the face of the world in the earth. And he caused it to come, whether for correction or for his land or for mercy. And this is how you know it's judgment, because it's unnatural. Okay, now, typically you got summer, spring, fall, the winter, right? Each season brings forth its own benefit. Like the summertime, it heats the earth. Okay, things can grow. You know, things can reach their maximum potential. Then you got the fall, which is the harvesting season. You know, and then you got the wintertime, which kills off all the bad bacteria, all the germs. And you have a frost. And then the springtime, you have the rain to bring forth the increase. You know, these are different particular seasons that the Most High have created for the earth, man. Right now, we're in a time of the winter when everything is dying off so it can be replenished for the new year, which is when the spring begins, the real new year. But right now, this is straight judgment, okay? Because they're talking about Midwest getting hit with up to 2 feet of snow. I mean, I didn't even see that in the forecast, man. But they have what they call the Farmer's Almanac, which is basically some type of forecasting of these particular seasons before they come to pass. Of particular patterns and weather and animal behaviors and the way crops grow. They're able to detect some way, somehow, how winters are going to be. But these things are completely unnatural, because I'm guarantee you we're going to probably have a hotter than normal summer. Okay, we might not have no spring this year, because we know that we're in the time of the Lord's judgment. You know, but it says here, he caused it to come, whether for correction or for his land for mercy. But hearken unto his words, unto this, O Job, stand still and consider the wondrous works of the Most High. Okay, I got another precept here and I end it. This is the book of Psalm 78, and I'm going to start at verses 44. It says, and he turneth their rivers into blood, and these are the plagues of Egypt, and their floods that they could not drink. It says, he sent diverse sorts of flies among them, which devoured them, and frogs, which destroyed them. It says he also gave their increase into the caterpillar and the labor into the locust. And he destroyed their vines with hail and with their sycamore trees with frost. Okay, with frost. The cold weather. He gave up their cattle also to the hail and their flocks to hot thunderbolts. And he cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation and trouble, and by sending evil angels among them. And we just read that he tell his counsels, which are the angels. And then he said, well, look, go bring snow on the earth. And then the angels through the counsel of the Most High, they go and they do what they have to do. Okay, you have spirits that's in control of all these things, man. Because we know that the Heavenly Father deals with a perfect order. You see? Last precept, 2 Judges 15. And I'm going to start at verses 12. It says here, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it should be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. It says, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hell and with the fearful consolation. Okay? You got the rain, you got tornadoes. Literally, we saw all 4 seasons within a week or so. Like I said, down south, man, you got, I think it was in Florida or one of them states. It turned, literally, the tornado spent the damn house around, man. You know, these $500,000, $1 million houses you people are investing in, which is nothing but a slab of concrete and a plank of wood. And then what's so crazy about it, you can open up your window and you can literally walk in the other motherfucker's house across from you. You're spending all this money on houses and refurbishing your house and, what do you call it, upgrades. And yet you ain't got no land to live on. And then when something like this happens, your house gets pretty much disintegrated. Literally, the house was touching the other house. You ain't supposed to, man, please, man. You ain't supposed to build houses that close. Out of all this land in the world, you sit up here building. I could literally walk 6 feet and be in my neighbor's yard. What kind of shit is that? That's why this man's kingdom is being broken down. And this is a beautiful thing. But I'm going to end it here, brothers, giving all praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Until the next listen. Shalom. Lord's will you edified. Shalom.